Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the word, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you.
Now that's what I call a broken clock. Steamer, how would you like to help me fix this clock?
I can't, Miss Jones. I'm too busy. Busy.
Steamer, the passengers will miss the train if they don't know the time.
Exactly. And while they're waiting for the next train, they're going to come to my arcade and put the money in my machine. Pretty smart, eh?
You really are a scheming schemer.
Hey, I got to do what I got to do. And so do I. Miss Jones. By the way, I have right here a brand new antique teapot. It just needs a little bit of polish, and I'm going to sell it to you for $5.
Oh, really? That teapot's a mess.
All right, $4, but that's my final offer. $3, but that's my final offer.
But you were going to throw it out. There's a hole in the bottom.
No. This is so that you can pour 2 cups of tea at once.
Oh.
All right, $2. That's my final offer. Jones, leave this right here so that you can gaze upon it and change your mind. Ah, Matt and Tanya, my 2 favorite children.
Hi, Steamer.
Darn shoelaces.
Wow, Stacy, can I come up there? Oh, no, not so fast, Tanya. I need you to stay down there and watch that the ladder doesn't slip. Hey, Matt, could you get me that big screwdriver in the toolbox? Thank you. What's wrong with it? It's broken. Watch this. That's neat. I like that. Me too, but it doesn't tell us the time, and there's no way to tell if the train's on time if all the clock does is make music. Now, where's that screwdriver? Aunt Susie, can I have this? Sure. What can you do with a ball of string? Are you kidding? Why, you can run it across the room. Or you can curl it up like a little worm. Or you can tie things or pull things, like my granny used to say. Let my life be like a piece of string, long, strong, and soft at the end.
Your old granny never said that.
Oh, you're right. I made that one up myself.
Not bad for a beginner.
Why, thanks. Hey, you know what I need? Some oil. I'll be right back.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, Stacy's granny used to run this station. That's when I met her. Why, she could tell you which train was coming just by its whistle. She always took care of her trains and her passengers, and she was very good at having fun. Better than most people, in fact.
That's silly. Everyone knows how to have fun.
That's not true, Tanya. Do you mind if I call you Tanya Lasagna? Good. No, you see, everybody likes to have fun, but not everybody knows how to go about it. Stacy does, and so did her grandmother.
What'd she do with string?
Why, she used to play cat's cradle all of the time.
Oh, I know how to do that. Who'd you used to play with?
Who else? Your Aunt Stacy.
Help, I'm stuck. Wait a minute. Hey.
Well done, Matt. It makes you feel good when you help someone out, doesn't it? Over on the island of Sodor, the engines all say it makes you feel really useful. Well, you'll see what I mean. Every day, Sir Topham Hatt came to the station to catch his train. Hello, he always said to Thomas. Don't let the silly freight cars tease you. Remember, you have an important job as a special helper in the train yard. There were lots of freight cars, and Thomas worked very hard pushing and pulling them into place. There was also a small coach and two strange things his driver called cranes. That's the breakdown train, he told Thomas. The cranes are for lifting heavy things, like engines and coaches and freight cars. One day, Thomas was in the yard. Suddenly, he heard an engine whistling. Help! Help! A freight train came rushing through much too fast. The engine was James, and he was frightened. His brake blocks were on fire. They're pushing me, he panted. On, laughed the freight cars, still whistling. Help! Help! Poor James disappeared. I'd like to teach those freight cars a lesson, said Thomas the tank engine. Soon came the alarm. James is off the line. The breakdown train, quickly! Thomas was coupled on, and off they went. Thomas worked his hardest. Hurry, 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 he puffed. He wasn't pretending to be like Gordon. He really meant it. Bother those freight cars and their tricks. I hope poor James isn't hurt. James's driver and fireman were feeling him all over to see if he was hurt. Never mind, James, they said. It was those silly freight cars on your old wooden brakes that caused the accident. Thomas pushed the breakdown train alongside. Then he pulled away the unhurt freight cars. Oh, dear, they groaned. Serves you right, puffed Thomas. He was hard at work, puffing backwards and forwards all afternoon. This'll teach you a lesson, he told the freight cars. And they answered, yes, it will, yes, it will. They left the broken cars, then with two cranes they put James back on the rails. He tried to move, but he couldn't, so Thomas helped him back to the shed. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting anxiously for them. Well, Thomas, he said, I've heard all about it, and I'm very pleased with you. You're a really useful engine. James shall have some proper brakes and a new coat of paint, and you shall have a branch line all to yourself. Oh, thank you, sir, said Thomas. Now Thomas is as happy as can be. He has a branch line and two coaches called Annie and Clarabelle. He puffs proudly backwards and forwards with them all day. He is never lonely. Edward and Henry stop quite often and tell him the news. Gordon is always in a hurry, but never forgets to say poop, poop. And Thomas always whistles peep, peep in return.
I bet Thomas felt really important when he was pulling the breakdown train.
Oh, no. He was worried about James. He wanted to help him.